Hi, Dumpster Divas. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. It's me, Tom Hamlet. Before we get going, today we are diving into all things Bravo over this past summer. We're heading into a fall season of brand new Fresh Bravo shows. And I wanted to dive into all of that with a dear friend of the podcast, Gibson Johns. So that's coming at you. Reminder, make sure to subscribe to the Dumpster Dive YouTube channel if you would like a video version of this podcast, or on Spotify. Video versions are available there as well. And then you can also subscribe wherever podcasts are heard if you just are an audio girly like myself. It's going to be a great episode. I love chatting with Gibson, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's dive in. Hi, guys. We are back, and to dive into all things, summer 2025 Bravo, I have one of my fellow Bravo experts in the house, in the dumpster with me, Gibson Johns. Follow him at Gibson Johns on Instagram, and make sure, or no, that's not even your handle. It's Gibsonova on Instagram. And then make sure to subscribe to Gabbing with Gib on all podcast platforms. Gibson, welcome back to the podcast.
I'm happy to be back in the dumpster. It's
Good
been
to
a minute.
see you.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, summer's wrapping up, and I am not a summer person, like, at all, really. But I will say I had a really good summer.
Okay, so then you're kind of surpassing expectations for yourself if you're not a
Yeah,
summer
and
person.
we're going to Martha's Vineyard in a couple weeks.
Love.
So I'm not really. I'm in my brain. I'm telling me summer begins after that little gaycation
Okay.
we're doing with our my partner Brian's, like, gay besties. We're doing a little couples trip out there.
So it kind of sounds like you're a fall person.
No, I am fully fall. I'm fall and
Okay.
winter. Like, I
Okay.
like the cold. Like, I
You're
like
doing summer things in the fall.
honestly, yeah. Like, last summer, I went to the Cape during October, and it was, like, so magical.
Lovely. Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Like, just sit in a big sweatshirt. Like, I just want to look like Princess Diana as often as possible.
And you don't have to try it all. That's
No, and gays can kind of.
I'm looking at Princess Diana right now in my Zoom. So
Oh my god, that's so kind of you. I feel like gays are just effortlessly chic in the fall.
yeah, it tracks. You put a nice little chunky sweater on.
Yeah.
Well, I love sweatshirt short weather. I think that's a really great time of the year, and it's a good.
It's a magical combo.
It results in some good outfits. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's a magical combo. Holding a nice coffee, walking down the street, and you're in your big,
all
some
the
sort of, like,
cliches,
university sweatshirt.
all the cliches come true in the fall if you're gay.
Absolutely. Although I'm not a pumpkin spice latte girly. That doesn't hit for me.
But I feel like pumpkin spice latte is like kind of like for like, it's like the cliche of that's like the white girl, like we're like,
yeah,
like we still have our iced coffees. That's not.
Yeah, I'm iced coffee black year round. Nothing really changes in that department for me. I've stopped drinking hot coffee. I'm like, I must let this go. This is a straight agenda that was forced on me as a child, and I can no longer abide by it.
I probably have hot coffee like less than 5 times a year, and it's only when like it's the only option, or like I'll be like at a diner and like I love like the constant refills that can happen in a situation like that. But otherwise, I'm not ordering it on my own accord. I'm always going ice.
Agreed. Diner coffee is an exception to that rule because there's something about really shitty coffee that is so comfort. Like, and I mean that in a very complimentary way.
Yes, exactly. Like,
it's like that pot has not been cleaned in approximately 12 months, but they're making good coffee out of it.
I'm not asking any questions.
Oh my god. And y'all, if you're watching on YouTube, Gibson has the most nostalgic background behind him. He's in his childhood home with a wall of DVDs. Like, I was telling him before we hopped on here, I just want to, like, curl up on the couch and, like, dive into something. What do we have?
I mean, from the TV section, which is over here.
Okay.
Over there. I do have some old Bravo shows. I have like first season of New York, first season of Atlanta, which I forgot they put on DVD. I have all 5 seasons of The Simple Life. I have The Hills, Desperate Housewives.
Fantastic.
I Love New York from the VH1 days.
Oh wow, like, you had that on DVD.
I really, that's how deep I am in here. But yeah,
that's fantastic.
Miss Congeniality is on there.
Where did you acquire the I Love New York DVD?
I feel like
just like out of Best Buy?
Probably at Best Buy or like on Amazon. I feel like back in the day, like for my birthday and for Christmas, I would just ask for like Best Buy gift cards and just like use them to buy like those sets were fucking expensive. They were like $50.
I know. There's nothing better than like a DVD haul.
nothing
Oh
better.
my
Like
God.
that annoying little sticker that was at the top that you had to like took like 5 years to rip off. You know what
Oh
I'm talking
yes.
about?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm literally picturing it all. We got to go back to analog, guys. And I honestly think we will make some tiptoes back into analog because I feel like the streaming wars are going to end up hitting a point where we're going to start losing content.
I mean, some of them have already deleted random shows off their platforms for tax write-offs, and I agree. Like, I feel like on the music side, that's happened. That people are obsessed with vinyl, but something similar might happen for movies and
Yeah.
TV. I feel like.
The problem with vinyl, though, my issue with vinyl is like not everything is built for vinyl. Like vinyl in its initial like conceit was not built for like if you put Brat on vinyl, I'm sorry you guys, you can't listen to Brat on vinyl. Like it's
Yeah,
just like not the
that doesn't
format
track.
for it.
No.
No, no, no.
That's not what God intended, and God meaning Charlie. No,
No, and that's not a diss on either of them, but like it's hard because like that medium was not built for that. But like
no.
but like a CD like kind of does make sense. I don't know. I agree that we really do need to dive in back into analog. I'm worried we've lost little shows here and there. I'm worried one day we lose like a big show. Like and I'm talking like Housewives.
I mean, like, what if Peacock takes away like Ultimate Girls Trip, which like
That is
that'd be
foreseeable.
tragic. But yeah, it's like one of those ones that like maybe they think people forgot about, but no, we don't. We never forget about season 2 of Real Housewives of Ultimate Girls Trip in the Berkshires. Like that's not.
No. And do
If
I
I
go back
if
and
there if
do I go back and rewatch it? I don't. But like I want to know that it's
no, but
there.
I like knowing that I potentially could, and that's
Right.
just yeah, that's just the
That's the
rules of
point of that
feminism.
wall behind you. Like it's not like you're
Exactly.
watching all those things.
It's
Some of them you
comfort.
probably only watch once, but like it's just nice that you
Exactly. It's
have it.
comforting. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Bravo, let's kind of dive in. So I wanted to do a little before we start with our Salt Lake City recap starting next week. And guys, listeners to the podcast, we're gonna change up programming a little bit. I'm just going to be recapping Salt Lake City on our weekly episodes. I want to just kind of focus in on that because I feel like it's going to be a great show to talk about. And then some little other side second weekly episodes here and there touching on other things. So I'm really excited about that. But before we get into Salt Lake City, which I'm, beyond excited for, I want to kind of chat with you about the state of where we're at right now with our shows. It feels that we are in a bit of a drought. Even though there are shows on, where are you at with our Bravo programming as it stands right now, Gibson?
I would agree that it's light, but I think that like they did themselves no favors in that regard by putting both the housewives that are on right now on the same night.
It's
So
so
it's like
weird.
it just feels like all week there's nothing on. I don't watch Below Deck. Nothing against that. It's just not. I don't have the time.
Yeah, me neither.
But so there's nothing on Sunday nights when it usually would be a Housewives show. There's nothing on Tuesday or Wednesday, so we have to wait all week till Thursday. And then there's basically this like onslaught of content because both Miami and Orange County have after shows. So I'm actually enjoying both the seasons. I know that this Orange County season is controversial, but I'm enjoying it kind of episode to episode. Like I don't find it to be quote unquote too dark as people are claiming, or like obviously content wise, I think it's a little bit too in the weeds, but it doesn't make it not entertaining to me. So it's definitely light, and I wish we had a third show to watch. But I feel like this almost happens like every year they have a BravoCon, which is like they make these sort of odd programming choices to like backload it around November when BravoCon happens, so they can be like, oh, like we have 3 housewives on, and Southern Charm's going to premiere, in 2 weeks, and XYZ. So I kind of feel like that's why this happens, but it definitely like it feels like we don't have that. Like I feel like on my podcast I'm like talking about like, okay, this week on Orange County, this week on Miami, and I'm like I need like a third like place to land.
Yeah. Also, for a network that seems to really be leaning in on content creators, like I feel like content creators are now where content creators are seem to be built into the storylines of the shows. It feels crazy to kind of screw over that landscape by putting 2 shows on the same night like also at the back end of a week where like people aren't getting to really have conversations about it. Like I think it's a very bizarre choice when like
Hmm.
they make money off of people like us talking about the shows. Like it's hard to recap like
It
not to
is.
get into the behind the scene weeds here, but it's weird to recap shows on Thursdays in general just because like you don't want to work on the weekends and like you don't want to, you have to turn
Yeah, it's
around quick.
odd.
It's just a
I,
bizarre thing for them to be so like they acknowledge the content creator so much for that to also be what's happening. It's weird.
yeah, and I think that like they moved Miami from Wednesdays to Thursdays, and that actually worked in terms of getting more people to watch Miami live.
Oh, it is
The
working. I haven't actually checked the
the
ratings in a
ratings
minute.
did go up on it. Like, not that the live ratings really matter anymore, but like more people are watching it live because Orange County has more viewers. So
Yeah.
in that regard, it worked. But like, I just wish they had picked Wednesday night instead of Thursday night
Same.
to make that change.
Thursdays. It's just
Yeah,
not the
Thursdays
night
are
I want to
hard.
be.
And
Yeah.
I'm more likely to have plans on a Thursday, honestly. Like, it's just I'm way less likely to be on my couch on a Thursday than I am on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and that's just what
Totally.
it is.
And I don't really want to be editing this show. No offense to you guys. I just don't really want to be editing this show on a Friday night. So, but
I
I
don't
love
blame
you.
you.
I love you. Um,
Anything for you.
so the shows we had this summer. So we had starting. I got to start somewhere that I did not watch this television program, but I got to know if you did. Were you or are, I don't know if it's still on, a McBee Dynasty person?
I'm not. I actually have heard good things about the second season of that show that I think it went from Peacock to Bravo. I've heard good things, and I met one of them at that DirecTV party, but no, I do not watch,
Yeah, me
and
neither.
I'm not I'm not gonna say I never will watch.
Hmm.
And I guess that is another Bravo show that's on. I just don't watch it.
It
But
just doesn't
it
speak.
doesn't yeah, it doesn't. What do they say? Tickle my fancy. I'm not. That's not for me
It's
right
just I
now.
don't really come to Bravo for male-centered stories. You know, I've heard we have a kooky lady in the mix, the mom. I've seen some
Yeah,
mixings about, but I
but
just don't know that
I
I need to
agree.
be touching down there. Like that's one of our weekly shows right now.
Not one of
Feels
my weekly
feels
shows.
good. Not one of mine either. And then we have the Real Houses of Atlanta wrapped up this year. What were your final thoughts on kind of that season as it ended? And then they've quickly picked up cameras pretty
Yeah,
immediately.
I feel like the fact they did pick up cameras so quickly is like a really good sign. I think that it speaks to the health of the show and just like how much story they can still follow. Like, there's a
Hmm.
lot going on with these women. It was definitely an uneven season, obviously, because of like the Kenya stuff, and then like it felt like there was almost different chapters of this season where it was like
Yeah.
the Kenya stuff with Britt dominated the first part, and then there was sort of that weird middle part that didn't really. It felt like we were repeating ourselves, but then when Phaedra came in and they went on that amazing cast trip, I was like, okay, I'm
Yeah, we have a show.
I'm liking the direction. We have a show. There's a lot here. I thought the reunion was pretty good, and yeah, it wasn't a perfect season, but I've been saying that like for the past maybe 3 years of Atlanta, like nobody was even really talking about it, and at
Mhm.
least this season, like people were talking about it, whether they liked it or they didn't like it, or they were talking about the Kenya stuff. It was part of the conversation, which I think is a huge first step to get a franchise back in that sort of space.
Yeah, I agree. I think I give the season overall like a B minus. I really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Even the down sections of it, I was still lolling, like there's still it's still it goes down easy.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. So if you guys have not heard, so they have picked up cameras. They've added two new women to the mix, and obviously Britt
Hmm.
Eady and Kenya are not there, but everyone else is present. One of which being K Michelle, which K Michelle is a like founding father of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which is the first Love and Hip Hop franchise. Go watch like a K Michelle best of. She was like a really fun
Okay.
presence on the
I'm
early
gonna do that because
seasons.
I didn't watch Love and Hip Hop, but
Yeah, I
I've heard
didn't
good
either,
things.
but I did watch the first three seasons in COVID.
Oh, well,
And so
that's
I got
fun.
to know all the girlies. And she's a good time. She's a
I've
pro.
heard she gets activated. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
She kind of reminds me of Candy if Candy got activated more and was like a little more scrappy.
Okay.
Like they're
Okay.
both like little fireballs in the music industry. They have like similar backgrounds, like but then K Michelle will just get into it a little bit more. But
we love to hear that, honestly.
and
You
she's
know,
been
and like
getting into it online while they're filming. I don't know what's going on, but
they have been, but I feel like that speaks to like her not she's not going to be intimidated by a Phaedra or a Portia or like any of the other ones. So
yeah.
that's good. That's good.
She recently, though, this is something I just saw before I came on here, got in some fight this week with
I saw this.
with the Green Eyed Bandits because Robin was on her podcast talking about how with Giselle talking about how are we running out of people in Atlanta. Now I kind of understand what she's saying because it's like there are 5,000 reality shows that film in Atlanta now. We are dipping our toes into different pools about like bringing people across franchises. I guess there's someone who was on Basketball Wives who is now on Married to Medicine and or filming as a friend of or something. And then
Which I did not know about, by the
I
way.
didn't know about that either. And then K Michelle obviously is in Atlanta, and K Michelle quickly got in the mentions and honestly devoured Robin in a pretty hilarious way.
She devoured her, and I was like laughing. I forget there was one line in that I was like kind of sending me,
I'll
but
find it.
also like Robin wasn't insulting her. Like her,
She
like she really wasn't. Like it wasn't even. She was even saying like K Michelle was somebody before Love and Hip Hop. She is still somebody. I'm a fan of hers. Like she wasn't. She was more criticizing like the production side of things. Of like, wait, like
right.
we're casting from other shows. Like, aren't there millions of people in Atlanta that could do this? So I feel like K Michelle, like, I don't know if it was a misread of what Robin was saying or she just wanted to like go viral for a sec. But either way, she gathered Robin, as they say.
She said, "Why be so worried about me and my overly educated, successful self and what I might be doing? Robin, you ran out of a job a long time ago. You would love to be recycled, you little couch potato, just yapping. You should have ran through that hotel lobby where your husband was, lady. Giselle, you look beautiful." I love that. Giselle, you look beautiful. Leave me alone and
So
let me go let me go yodel in peace. And then she says, "I'm around here selling out shows and you sell you're selling baseball hats, but you worried about me and what I'm doing. The nerve of this couch potato." Her calling her a couch potato over and over again is really something else.
her saying you should have run through that hotel lobby, that is, I mean, at least she's familiar with the lore, you know?
She is, which
She gets
makes me
it.
believe we're gonna have some good content on Atlanta. So
Me too. Me too. No, that's promising for her.
now, a next show that aired this summer that I'm positive that you devoured and I did too is Next Gen NYC, which has not been
Mhm.
renewed for a second season yet. Which is, I know, I'm sure it's impending, it's happening because we're hearing these spin-offs are happening, but especially with the Damon Dash stuff that's going down in the headlines right now, it feels crazy that we haven't picked up cameras yet.
I know. I wonder if it's like maybe it's like a casting thing. Like, so I mentioned that DirecTV party that I went to,
Mm-hmm.
and I was leaving, or I was like, near the exit, doing my final rounds, and Georgia from Next Gen NYC was leaving, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, like, just want to say, like, I loved the show, like, it's so good. And then she like kind of turned back around. She was like, kind of, I could sense that she was ready to like lock in and like
Engage.
spill,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like, Georgia, I know that you guys like aren't talking to Charlie, like he's kind of excommunicated from the cast, but like you guys need him. You need him. You're the one that needs to get him back on the show. If he's like out on the outs, like you don't have to like him, but you guys need your villain. And she's like, I know. He called me earlier today. I didn't pick up. So I kind of, my sense is that they're waiting for a casting thing. Maybe they're waiting for Charlie to commit or trying to get him to lock in.
Yeah.
Because they do need him. I think the show
Yeah.
needs him.
I don't think the
Um,
show. Well, or they need someone else similar because the show would not have
but
operated
he's
without
hard
him.
to find. I think he's hard to. That's a hard person to find. I think.
He is. And Charlie, if you're listening to this ever, you need the money. You should take the job. Go on TV.
Yeah, take the job. Also, like he seems like a willing villain. Like I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah,
He,
he was willing to show all on camera. I don't know if he was naive to how
I think he was.
the sausage was made, but I mean,
Yeah, but I am surprised that a season 2 announcement hasn't come yet. But it has to be coming. It was like their most watched premiere ever, or something like that. Like if you
yeah.
use the Peacock numbers, so that show was a huge success for them.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I really, really enjoyed it. I haven't,
Mm-hmm.
there hasn't been some new programming like that that I've, like a season one that I've been so
Mm-hmm.
susceptible to. Like Southern Hospitality, I watched season one and then bailed at some point. I got back into Southern Hospitality as, things
Good.
got
Good.
great. But like, I think Next Gen really had some it factor there right off the bat that they would be silly not to continue to, monopolize on.
Yeah, I feel like Southern Hospitality showed potential in its first season, but Next Gen NYC was already good. Like it
Yeah,
kind of kicked off with a good season. You're right. You're
yeah,
absolutely right.
totally. And then we had Love Hotel, which I did not finish that show. Did you?
I finished it. It definitely petered out a little bit.
Okay.
Um, I feel like, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's not, not for the drama. It was just sort of a frothy show that is, I feel like it's driven by the personalities of the women they choose. And I think, it was the first time they did that. I think there are some ways they can tinker with the format to
Mm-hmm.
like make it more engaging throughout an 8 episode run.
Yeah.
Like the concept is great, but like I don't know if they had to have maybe like one other woman and so there would be more men there, or it definitely like towards the end it was like this could have ended 2 episodes early because we all knew you knew who the women were going to choose.
Yeah.
Um, so I did watch it till the end, but I agree that like there was a missing factor there.
Yeah, love shows don't totally like get me like that. Love Island I enjoy enough because it's like there's so many people and there's so much drama happening.
Yeah,
But
and the conversation's good around that show. That's what really gets
well,
me. Yeah.
oh my God, I got dragged into Love Island madness this past week. I had to delete a
Why?
thread. I'm like, Jesus, can no one just like
No, I mean
breathe?
the people who watch that show and talk about it online, like I enjoyed during the season talking about it and like how
Yeah.
kind of community based it was, but I mean, there's no sense of humor in that online viewership, I will say. Like they really and they
No.
don't really get it, and it's really frustrating.
They don't get how like Bravo people like to like laugh at both. Bravo viewers like to laugh at and with the housewives. Like, and
Of
the
course,
housewives mostly, I would say
are in on that
75% of
joke.
them are in with it. They're like can take the joke when they're being
Part of the
ridiculous, but
deal.
can,
Yeah.
yeah. I
What'd you,
posted
what'd you say?
so Huda did. I was definitely tiptoeing into territories that I knew I shouldn't be, but Huda did an NFL commercial during the Eagles game last week, and
Okay.
which was so wild. The commercial is so bizarre. The
I don't
woman
think I
has no
saw it.
charisma. She's literally walking through a gym, and it says personal trainer and reality star under her. I don't really know what she was promoting. It was all very confusing, especially because on the show, Olandria's whole thing was like, I can't wait to be with a man to watch football on the weekends and do all. She was like talking about football so much. I'm like, why? And Olandria to me has like supermodel it factor. You could
Absolutely.
watch
She's the
her
biggest
walk.
star.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can watch her walk through a gym. She can say nothing, and you would be captivated by the commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Huda doesn't have that to me, and I just made a comment about how I was like, I feel like I didn't say her name because I was like, I know her fans are crazy, but I was like, I feel like this lady is better fighting over pancake batter in the villa than she is like as an influencer in the space. So I was warranted to
Listen,
read, but I'm sorry, guys. I also it was meant to be a little bit of a lull. Like, can we all just take a break? And
yeah, I
people
mean,
started sending me death threats.
no,
If anyone listening has ever tried to troll and done things like this, do not do it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your energy. Some of these people that were trolling me too, I found their Instagrams and they were like 35-year-old men living in Palm Springs, gay men. I'm like, get a fucking life.
mm-mm,
Like
mm-mm.
it was madness. I was like, this is truly so ridiculous. We're just like, I'm trying to hee hee ha ha about these shows. I didn't even tag the lady or say her name. I didn't even bring up the show.
It's not worth it. It's like just
It's
delete the
not worth
post,
it.
and
I should
it's
have
like
never said
really.
anything, but
I mean, it's like you should be able to say whatever you want to say. I think her fans remind me kind of like Teresa fans, honestly. Like
they have very
they like
similar.
they like worship her to the point where like they'll go to war for her,
Yeah.
and like it's crazy that she's cultivated that after one season on a reality show.
And also like a
But
very
I do
mid
think you're right that like
performance.
Huda's, yeah, I mean, I think Huda, I don't think it's like her charisma, but I think that Huda kept me sort of actually wrote me into Love Island. This is my first season ever watching, and like
Yeah, totally.
her drama with Jeremiah like helped me get addicted to the show. But
Totally.
like that was her being like a hot mess and having her crash out. But I think I agree with you that like after this fervor around this season of Love Island finally dies down, which I really hope it happens soon, she'll land on another reality show, like one of those ensemble shows or
That's what she
something like
needs to
that.
do.
But like it's not. She's not. I think the dedication to her will dissipate a little bit. It's just it's still too hot in that kitchen.
Like we spend too much time writing hard for these mid reality stars, and why are we not writing harder for like Tiffany Pollard? I don't know. Like,
Well,
like
it's not even, and it's not even. It's honestly not even like that. Like they're mid or not. Like Olandria is, I agree, the star of the season, huge
yeah,
it factor, like just undeniable. But like even her, I'm like, why are you people acting like they've known this woman for 10 years? That
totally.
they like, it's like, no, like we just met her 2 months ago, and she's still figuring it out. I don't know. It's like they have to figure out how to like manage the temperature around Love Island next year because it's it's like almost like unbearable. Like
Well,
what?
I think a big issue currently, just in the state of content in general, is too many people are creating parasocial relationships with
Mm-hmm.
reality stars and
But
celebrities in
why?
general. I think it's
Why?
because we're living more in our phones, we're living more
Mm-hmm.
on our screens instead of being out in the world. And like our friends, there are people that like really view these shows, these women as their like friends. And I
Yeah.
think they go to those places because they don't go out and they're leaning on these people as their like lifelines. And with shows like Love Island, there's so much content. You consume like what, 7 hours a week of these people
Mm-hmm.
living in real time. You think I mean, I do think people think they know them. And so they start to
Yeah, you're
create this
right.
parasocial
You're right.
relationship with like, well, that's my friend Huda. And it's like, well, no, girl, that girl does not care about you.
Or even, and I also think that people are almost looking to be outraged, or like maybe it's they're channeling like feelings that like their regular lives are giving them because
Yeah.
as we said, as we said before we started recording, like the world
Yeah.
is on fire, um, and there's so much to be frustrated about, and like in a genuine like understandable way. But like I even think about like the season of Orange County, and I'm like, yeah, like it has not been like the greatest thing that they are ganging up on Katie and like trying to punch down and take her down on the show, but like the way that people are like armoring up for her, suiting up for Katie, who like has not proven herself to be a good reality star in her 2 seasons on Real Housewives. Like we've known her for a year and a half. She has never given us like iconic moments yet. Like it's not,
No, she hasn't.
but the way that people are defending her and sort of speaking about her makes you think that she is like this like really well established, like
Yeah.
proven reality star who doesn't. And I'm just like, wait, we're not there yet with her, and we're not there yet with the Love Islanders, and we're not there. It just it heats up so quickly, and I just can't like relate to that. I guess I don't understand. I don't. I feel like I've said on my podcast recently that like I feel like more out of tune with like the prevailing online sentiment more and more frequently,
Yeah.
and I think that like it has to do with this trend,
Well, the
and I don't really
dialogue
fully
has,
understand it.
yeah, I think a lot of people, the dialogue has stopped being like funny and fun and like in good spirit, or even if
Yeah.
it's mean, it's funny, like, well, that's one of my favorite things. If you can't say it nice, at least say it funny. Like, because like that's why we're here to have laws.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Mm-hmm.
it's just transitioned to full mania. Like people take these shows incredibly seriously. I think because everything is taken so seriously in general now, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
hard for people to not
Detach from
get
that. Yeah.
angry about these
Yeah.
women. And it does suck the fun out of it a little bit. But let's talk about Orange County a little bit. So yeah, with everything that's going on there, I just don't have the energy. I'm not enjoying it. Like I watch every episode and I listen, I love these white ladies. They're just I just do. I will always watch them. I
Hmm.
just don't. I just more than the lies. I don't want the show to be about things that just don't happen in the confines of the show. It's like I just don't care about what people have said to bloggers. Like let's just either not talk about it. I either literally don't bring it up that you do that, or like just literally don't do it. Like on New York season, I believe like 9 or 10, they come for Sonia. They're like, Sonia, all you do is talk to page 6. You must
Hmm.
stop. And they literally like band together and kick her out of like a trip to the Berkshires because they're like, we don't want you there because we don't want you telling people things. And like that, bring back that. Like, bring
Yeah.
back
Well,
being like, please don't talk to people.
right, right, because it's like I do think that they're all doing it in some capacity.
Well, that's the problem here is Tamara has a
Yeah.
podcast network built on the backs of these shows, and they're mad about people speaking candidly to bloggers when is a blogger, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think they're mad at Katie because she came onto the show and just like called out a bunch of shit
Yeah.
and didn't really try in earnest to like make those relationships before she did that. And
Hmm.
so then, that was like she became vulnerable in the second season because they were all sort of like, wait, who is this bitch? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I don't have a problem with any of them having podcasts, or I actually don't have a problem with like a storyline being, oh, like you said this to Jeff Lewis, or you said this to Kiki Monique, or you said like that. If that's how like the match gets lit, fine. Like that is the reality of their lives, and that's you can't like prevent that from being part of their lives. And I think
You lit
I
a match.
like
What match did you light? It was on Summer House or something.
Janet was on my podcast.
Wait, oh yes, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, it was the
We
first
don't have to
season
talk
of
about it. I
the
just was
season
like,
two
wait, I
premiere
think
of the
Gibson has lit
Valley.
a
Yeah,
match.
yeah. To be fair, she lit the match. Just it happened to be on my
No, no,
podcast.
no. I'm
But
sorry. You did not light
no, no,
any
no,
matches. I'm gonna make that
no. But
clear.
I almost felt that I did, even though I think it was really a fire of her own of her own. She made the fire public, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just that like there's just too much of it. Like it's honestly shocking that the producers of this show like let this season get to this point where we're talking about, first it was the Bravo Babe, then it was, I feel like there was another one, then there was Kiki Monique, and then
Yeah.
there's these two other journalists that we're talking to in relation to the Kiki Monique thing, and it's like there's literally nothing they're talking about that has happened, again, as you said, in the confines of the show.
Yeah.
And if it had been like, oh, Katie told us to Kiki Monique, and then that sort of went from there, but they didn't really kind of loop back to that. The fact that they're having Kiki on the show is like tells you that they're in too deep with this, and like
It's
we don't
crazy
need.
that she's
Yeah,
there. And this
I
is
love
nothing against
Kiki, but like
Kiki.
we no, of course not. It's just like it's emblematic of like how far from like the plot that we've kind of gotten.
Yeah. Like we want these shows to be real, but there does need to be a level of like certain people cannot permeate the
No.
set. It's a hot set. Like we can't
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
we can't
totally,
have just
totally.
people walking in trying to be a part of the
Yeah.
show. I mean, she did not try to be a part of the show. They brought her into it,
No,
but
and I'm
it's
glad at that point she was able to like share her perspective on it. But again, I just think that it shouldn't have gotten to that point to begin with.
yeah. And I appreciate that she was like, I'm gonna come in, have a glass of wine, say like 2 sentences, and then I'm leaving. I do not want to be a part of this.
Yeah, it's just gotten to Jersey territory, honestly. And like again, I actually enjoyed the last season of Jersey, but it also objectively had just gotten way too in the mud. And
Yeah.
like I don't know, I feel like OC has like enough good players to like not want that to happen to this franchise.
Yeah.
And like I think they can pull it back. It's just I don't know.
You know,
I'm just shocked they didn't realize it.
so I know that you are a Survivor person.
Mhm.
Did you watch the Australian versus the World Survivor?
So I literally have an episode and a half left.
Okay, great.
I'm pretty sure I know what happens, but I have been like mainlining it for the past
Okay,
week.
so guys, if you have not, we're not gonna. I want to talk generally about something about it, but
Okay.
because I want people to watch it, I don't want to spoil anything. But guys, if you would like the link to watch it, DM me. I can give you a link to
Yeah,
watch
same
it.
here.
But it is, I think, one of the greater reality show
It's iconic.
seasons
Yeah.
I've seen in a really long time. Like better than I'm saying like all structured reality, whether it's like Housewives competition, things like that. Like it just is so riveting. It's like I was watching some episodes and I was like my phone, I wasn't even in the room with me. Like I wasn't two screening at all. I was like so zoned in on how
It's so
spectacular it
fast
is.
paced and so just like they're all experts at it, and it's
Experts.
and
But they
it's also
also
just you
don't
go.
take it, and this is something I want to apply to Housewives a little bit. They take the show seriously within the confines of the show. I don't know if it's something about the Australian mindset. I don't know if it's something about the fact that they're returning players, but I just can't imagine in America they would take they're getting voted off the island so like seriously and then they laugh about it. They're so light about
Yeah.
it because they're like it's just fun. Like we're here to have
Hmm.
fun. And I think we're just not doing that on reality TV in America these days. Like nothing feels like anyone's really having fun. And also, another part of Survivor that I've always really loved is most people, like 99% of the people that go on Survivor, don't make careers out of being reality TV stars. And I think there's something, and especially Australian Survivor, I don't know if you've watched some older seasons of it,
Hmm.
but now that you've seen this, go back and watch some because they don't really have like they have stars within the show, but all of them are very much just like I'm a mom, I
Right.
am a principal, I am a doctor. Like there's no like I'm an influencer. I think there's something within American like
Yeah, the
mindset where it's like we
psyche.
have to like monopolize on everything. Like nothing can be fun. Everything has to be money driven. I mean, we both have podcasts about shows that we grew up loving. So I understand that I'm a part of the problem,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
think there's just like a mindset that I was watching it and I was like, wow, we really take everything so incredibly seriously. Like these people are doing such a great job of just going into a game and having so much fun. And I think I just wish some of these housewives would kind of enter their own spheres wherever they are and just have a little bit more fun with the drama, with the pettiness, and let go of this like dark lawsuits, blogs, all that, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. There's
That's
like,
my
and there's like
lecture
a
about
there,
it.
and there is like a bit of like a weaponization of like social media too, and like the conversation around the show too that happens on almost all these shows. I totally agree. And like if you compare this season of Survivor, again, this is my first Australian Survivor season, and compare it to like the quote unquote new era of Survivor in America,
Hmm.
you know, that US Survivor has produced like some really kind of powerful quote unquote moments in the past several years, and that I think that's probably what that stands out the most to me in terms of like what I remember from this show for the past 5 or 6 years. But like, which is great, and I love that the show is like progressive and thinking about that stuff. But at the same time, I don't watch Survivor like for that reason. I watch Survivor for the cutthroat gameplay and the backstabbing, and I think that like Survivor and almost Jeff Probst as the host of Survivor has like leaned so far into like identity politics on that show
1000%.
to the point where I'm like, I think that we've kind of lost the plot of what Survivor is actually about. And like, you can be, again, as you said, you can be really serious about the game. You can be cutthroat. You can backstab. You can betray people on Survivor, which is what you have to do to win. And still, like, when you leave Fiji, like, you're not. That's not held against you. You were acting within the confines of the game that
Yep.
you signed up for, and that you were cast for, and that shouldn't be held against you, and that shouldn't be like a I don't know, a value judgment on like you as a person. And I feel like everything on reality TV, or a lot of things on reality TV, like level up to like, oh, like you're a bad person, I can't watch you. You've done this thing in your past, I can't watch you. And like maybe we're just better compartmentalizing than like the general viewer. I don't know, but like
Yeah.
I don't need to have the same politics as somebody to like enjoy watching them on TV. I don't need them to have a perfect track record. Like take Taylor Frankie Paul being named to The Bachelorette. Like she has domestic violence charges against her from her past, and
And she also
I'm
has
complete
really sus politics too. Like she's not
right.
great.
But at the same time, she's an amazing reality star who I enjoy watching, and I'm actually excited to watch her on The Bachelorette. And I think that it'll actually bring up some really interesting like ideas and themes,
Yeah.
probably in relation to her background. And so I don't know, like there's like a moralizing of reality TV that happens in America. I think that doesn't happen in the UK or Australia,
Well, I
probably.
think it just also has to do with the climate has
Yeah,
changed,
for
and
sure.
it's the climate is everything is so serious right now, and I mean that in a I don't mean that in a flippant way. Like it should be serious because things are a lot of really scary things are on the line right now. So I
Hmm.
understand why everything is taken so seriously. I just think as a community, we aren't lolling as much as we should be,
I
or
know.
like riveted in a fun way by things like we used to be, you know. But for those that want to dive into Australian Survivor, and this is a good guide for you too. So I watched their Heroes versus Villains season, which was season 10, which was
Okay.
this
There
was
have been
season
that many
13.
seasons. I didn't realize there were that many seasons of
No, yeah,
Australian
this one
Survivor.
was season 13.
Okay.
Season 10 was the Heroes versus Villains season. It's kind of a weird place to start because they're returning players, but I actually liked starting there because then you could figure out what players you really liked and go back and watch their specific seasons to understand more about their
There are less
gameplay.
duds. Yeah, there are less
Yeah. No,
duds in the mix.
no duds.
There
But
are no
honestly, the
duds in the mix
show
on
doesn't have duds. It's
really.
actually very the show is
Yeah.
they do an
It's great.
insane job. It's a
It
gr-
really does feel like old Survivor,
and it's
US Survivor.
produced so well. Like the editing, the direction, like
I mean,
it's
you,
epic.
you'll get 30 minutes into an episode and we're already going to tribal council because that's how good the tribal council will fill up 30 minutes of the episode because it's
Yep.
that good of a tribal council. It's crazy. Like
And
it's
it
just
blindsides every
oh my
episode.
god. Oh my
It's so
god.
good, guys. It is the best show. It really is. So
And I think I was worried that like they would be it would feel like they were relying on Parvati and Suri like yet again for like I will die for those women. I love those women.
yep.
But I didn't want it to feel like, oh, like is the only way to produce a good season of Survivor
Have
is to
Parvin
have
Suri.
like Parv and Suri on there, you know, but it's and
No,
they're like
they have
amazing
stars.
on here and they're playing like such great games, but at the same time there's like so many other compelling like really effective personalities here, which it's just exciting. It really is.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
love
a
it.
great show. Lastly, Miami. So Miami is having, I think, a really solid seventh season. I will always be a Miami defender. There's
Hmm.
something about the show though that isn't clicking online, I feel like, in the same way that other series do. What do you think that's about?
It's
Like the
hard to
memes aren't
say.
happening. The
I do think that this season of Miami is like with the Gertie and Julia stuff, which kind of like dominated the first half of the season and wasn't really fun. It was probably the first like not fun, like really long feud that happened on the show.
yeah.
Like I don't so maybe that's part of it. Um I don't really know though. Like it's and maybe also it's because like it's so many of the same women over and over again and like people would crave like newness and change, but I love that about Miami. Like I love that we've had essentially the same cast for 4
Yeah, I
seasons.
love it.
Um it's really hard to pinpoint.
Yeah, I
It
don't know.
really
I think
is.
there's just something, I don't know, there's something about it that hasn't totally clicked with everyone. I think that I just think for some reason, and it makes no sense about why, because I watch the show on Peacock always, but there's something about it being a Peacock show. I don't know if we go back and watch those first two seasons if they looked different or something, but like there's just something that felt different about it. I don't know
Well, I
why.
also
It's
think that
very
like the casual viewer like just wasn't gonna seek it out in that way. Like they
right.
will watch the new episode of Orange County on Peacock, 3 days later
Yep.
if they missed it on Bravo, but like they also know that it's always an option to watch on Bravo. So maybe that was I do think that maybe that stuck in people's heads that it came back on Peacock.
But
But
once
again,
again, it's crazy because I think that is where just most
yeah.
people already consume
No, I
it.
know, and I think there is like a delineation there, weirdly enough. But
I know it's interesting, but the show is great. I
it's so
think the
good.
women are so riveting. Like I think I'm not gonna say I like Stephanie, but I think we have a really interesting housewife in us with Stephanie because she is going to have a very interesting next couple seasons because I don't think she's lived such a like I don't think she's used to having scrutiny or having like critiques on who she is because she's built this universe where she's like the boss of all rooms she walks into, like even in her
Yeah,
marriage. And she's not the boss of this group,
that's
and
a good
she
way to
won't
put it.
be.
No, that's a good way to put it. It's like she came in, and I like I like that she kind of just jumped in the deep end and she was like, I'm supposed to bow down to Alexia's feet. Like, who is this woman? And
Right.
then Alexia is like, who is this woman that's not bowing down to my feet? You
Yep.
know, and she has, what presented as legit money, but obviously there's a lot of smoke around her finances online now, which also
Yep.
is like points to her not being used to the scrutiny. Yeah, and I think I actually like that I get so frustrated by her. Like I
It's the same.
I hate the way that she dangles that private plane over everybody. I think she doesn't understand it. She's not very good at being introspective, I don't think. But that points to her being a good housewife. So
Yeah.
it's
Sorry to say
like,
it, guys. Sorry.
yeah, yeah,
It's why we're here.
yeah, exactly. So I like that she's sort of a divisive figure, and
Yeah, me too.
to find somebody like that to add into a group that's so established is impressive, honestly.
Yeah. And what do you think is the future for Julia and Martina? Like to me the season reads as like the end of their tenure on the show, but
I think it should be the end for Julia. I don't think the fans really enjoy her anymore. I think Martina is like kind of proving to be like the worst kind of lightning rod that Bravo could have.
yeah.
Like, I don't think Andy wants to have to answer those questions and to ask those questions. Like,
No.
that's just not fun. And she's like not, and she's also not a central person on the show, but because she's so vocal about being anti-trans online, like it's like it has to be addressed, and that's not. My guess is that she's not coming back, but
Yeah, I think so too.
she wants that mojito.
She definitely does. And it was such a bizarre move for Bravo to kind of bring Carmen Carrera in the mix for a couple episodes as like a
Yeah, I thought
guest.
she'd be more. I thought she'd be more in the
Yeah,
mix.
me too. Especially because they like did a whole like dedicated post about her on their socials about like there's a
Oh,
new woman in the mix. Oh, it was her
I
first
forgot about that.
episode. Yeah, her first episode. If you go to their
She's
socials, they
been on
did.
like one episode total. Like,
Yeah,
it's
she was
weird.
on that one, and then she was at the party where Gertie read the text message and stuff. But then she's
Oh,
just like
right.
not really in the mix.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not totally
But I
sure.
do think that if Julia doesn't come back, that obviously frees up a mojito and that frees up some salary. And so that what I think should happen is you elevate Kiki to having a mojito.
I think we're
And
heading that direction. She's getting a
yeah,
lot of family scenes and
yeah, I think she should have that. I think that like
oh, me
that's
too. She's great. I feel
I
like you've
think
had
that
her
like
on your show a lot.
I had her on recently and like I just think that like there's honestly nothing more like satisfying as a Housewives viewer to watch somebody like make that jump from friend to housewife and
Yeah.
like prove that they deserved that. Um, like a lot of people have done that and it hasn't always gone well. It's a big test, but when it works, it works. It like feels really good, you know?
Yeah. Actually, I feel like it's a very small community of people that made that
It
jump.
is.
Like it doesn't.
Angie, it worked.
Yeah.
Marlo, it didn't. Sutton,
Um.
it worked.
Yeah. Brandy
Um,
Glanville, it worked for when it
Brandy,
worked.
yep. Um,
So
there's very few.
was Sonia a
I don't
friend
think
of?
Sonia was a friend. I think she
She was
just
like,
joined halfway through the season.
got it. Yeah, but the
I
group
think
is
there is one
small.
more. Yeah, I know it's a very small group, and I think Marlo's the biggest example of it not working.
Yeah.
Though I would love to see Marlo back as a friend at some point. I think that
Me
she was
too, but it
a
doesn't.
very
It
good
just
friend
doesn't work. Yeah, I don't
as
know.
a housewife. I don't
Yeah,
think.
I don't know
Yeah,
why that
but
is.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, a couple things that's everything that was on this summer. I know it sounded like we were kind of being negative. Not really negative. We have some critiques, but we still consume all the content, guys, and
of course.
we're here to bring some honest feedback. But I think we have a lot of exciting things on the docket for the fall. We have SLC obviously beginning next week. Tune in next week
Mhm.
for the premiere recap. And then we have Houses of Potomac returning in October. Southern Charm and Southern Hospitality, I assume, will be coming back in the fall at some point.
I bet you like November, December. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Beverly Hills is wrapping up filming, so I would just also assume that's happening in December, January, maybe. But I think we got a lot
Yeah.
of good stuff.
We do, and I'm happy. I think it's gonna be good. And then I've been watching Real Houses of London on Hey You, which
Okay,
has been
so are you
fantastic.
VPNing it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I
Yeah,
need
I'm
to
paying for
invest.
VPN and Hey You, but like
Wait, I thought
it's
Hey You
got
was free.
no,
Oh
no,
god.
no. I've been enjoying it a lot, but that's exciting as well. And yeah, it is
Yeah.
going to be a good
So
fall.
so Potomac allegedly they have continued filming a little bit with Karen after she got out of jail. I don't know how much. I assume she'll probably come in for like the finale episode or something like that.
I think they'll add it. I think they'll add footage to the end of the finale. Is my
Yeah,
guess.
definitely.
Yeah.
SLC though, something I love about the SLC ladies is I always feel we know nothing going in.
Yeah. No, we know nothing. I think it's clear that the lawsuits that have been percolating around Lisa are going to be involved this season.
Yeah.
Um, but that's kind of all we really knew. I feel like, which is exciting.
I love it. I just love like going in completely blind and just being like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, this scandal. I had
And they're
no
going to
idea.
deliver. Yeah, and they're going
Yeah.
to deliver. No question.
And then Beverly Hills, I don't know I never know what we got with those ladies. They always are throwing in some Adrian Maloofs, and that always worries me.
Yeah, it feels like
Adrian
we're getting a
Malouf is,
lot of cameos this upcoming season. I mean, Denise filmed,
Denise,
Adrian
I'm
Malouf
interested
filmed.
in.
Of course, but it's just sort of like, you have to. It gives you pause when they're bringing so many sort of,
Yeah, you're
extra
like,
people in.
so we got nothing, huh? But
Listen, I'm excited for Rachel Zoe. I think that's going to be. She'll
Me-
bring some humor, hopefully, to Beverly Hills, which is a show that needs humor. So.
I'm very curious about it, to be honest. Like, I loved
Me too.
the Rachel Zoe project, and like I love her as a reality TV presence. She's so nostalgic to me. Is that DVD behind you? That feels like a DVD that would be back there.
Seasons 1 and 2.
Oh,
There we go.
it is.
I'm dead.
No, so I'm excited. I think she's gonna be great. I just hope that she is really her. Like, I think that's what we loved about the Rachel Zoe project. She was just kind of unabashedly her dry,
right,
nightmarish self, and I hope we kind of still get that, and she's not like trying to button it up to be a Real Housewife. But let's dive into some questions though.
Okay.
So we got some questions on Threads and Instagram about kind of any general Bravo thoughts this summer. Oh, we didn't talk about The Valley. I realized that was a show that happened this summer, but I don't know if there's much to say about it. Well, we did talk about it a little bit.
my biggest takeaway is that show just needs to like talk about finding humor. That show needs to like be balanced out. It has no balance.
Yeah,
I think Jack's obviously being taken out of the equation will help things, but I thought it was a slog by the end.
Yeah, I agree. Because even though Jax wasn't there, the ghost of him was, and I worry that the show will continue to have the ghost of him around. And I did see something that allegedly both Lala and Sheena are full-time cast members on the show.
Oh, interesting. I don't know. I haven't. I assumed that they were going to be added in a bigger capacity.
Yeah.
Because it does make sense, even if people don't want to admit that.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it.
Guys, this is going to be a hot take, and I know people are going to be upset with me about this. I don't need Lala there, but someone who I would like to touch down with, don't be mad. I kind of want to see what Sandoval has to say about life as a rock star. I don't know. I just kind of want to know what's going on because he is so delusional.
I think that's a party of one.
I'm sorry. He brought me so
Maybe
much
for
joy.
season 4 or 5. Maybe
he brought me so much joy on Traders, being just with how everyone just pointed and laughed at him.
Yeah, it was funny. It was
like that. I want to relive that, but maybe that's way too hot of a take. Okay, first question. This comes from our dear friend Kendrick Tucker. Kendrick asks, "Do you think follow with Kendrick Tucker on all places? Do you think the blogger stuff on OC needs to be avoided at all costs? And is it inevitable that this happens on all the franchises at some point? Will OC return to their proper form next season, or will it take some time to rework the damage that's been done?"
I don't think it needs to be avoided at all costs. I think they can mention it. It just doesn't need to dominate the show in the way that it has. And I actually think that like other franchises would be wise to see this season as like a cautionary tale for delving into that. I almost feel like that production and maybe the women thought they were kind of trying to take a page from the Salt Lake City handbook because they can do this kind of stuff really well on that show. And it just clearly doesn't mix well with OC. So
Well,
I
there's a
don't
level
think
of
that
like
every
camp to Salt Lake City that
yeah,
just kind of
no,
always
the OC
exists.
doesn't have.
OC does not have that.
No. So it could be inevitable that eventually every season, every franchise has like a season like this, but I think they'll see that this did not land, um, and avoid it. Hopefully, that's
Yeah.
my response to that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I think the one thing about the whole blogger thing that has exhausted me is I thought we would be kind of past it at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's taking too long to
Yeah,
litigate.
and we have the mid-season trailer, and it appears that this still is a thing, which is confusing. I did love. I have to say, I didn't talk about that episode on the lie detector episode on here. I did really lol at Heather just blatantly being like, I don't want to be on this show.
Yeah, I think that she tried to make the jump to Beverly Hills, and it didn't work.
It
You know what
did
I mean?
not work.
I think she was
But
trying to plant those seeds.
babe, you're good for this show. Heather, if you ever get to this, you are good for this show. Stay on this show. Um, Paul asked, since Ultimate Girls Trip likely is on long pause, should Bravo produce something similar? I like seeing housewives from all different shows together, but not in a game setting like Traders. I miss Ultimate Girls Trip. I agree, Paul. I loved that format.
I miss it so much. And like I thought it was such a promising thing they could do twice a year where you could do, the ex housewives, you could do current housewives, you could do women from Southern Charm, Vanderpump Rules, and Summer House together. Like I just thought it was like a format that had endless possibilities, and
Mm-hmm.
they film it for 1 week. It's not like
Yeah, I'm sure they make
it's
bank
one
off of
trip.
it.
Yeah, and I don't consider it to be a tarnished brand either, just because of what happened with the Morocco season. Like I kind of feel like just maybe you kickstart it again with like a fairly safe group of women who aren't going to take it that far, and like it'd still probably be a pretty good show, and then you can like keep the ball rolling. I hope that we can eventually see that show return. I just loved it. I
Me
really did.
too. I
Even
thought
the
it was such a.
worst seasons.
It's
Yeah.
so fun. Like, yeah, like the last season was okay, but like,
But it's still fun to have crossover. I'm sorry. I'll
yeah,
take it
I
wherever I
guess
can get it.
I keep forgetting that New York thing was technically Ultimate Girls Trip. That didn't totally work for me because it was all the same show. That was weird to me. But
And like it didn't work for me, but then now that we don't have it, I'm like, but I would have watched that once a year. I would have
yeah,
watched 5
totally.
episodes of that. Yeah.
Like they have,
Mm.
y'all, they have the Jersey Shore kids going on a vacation every year. They film for like less than a month, and MTV, I believe, stretches that content out for like 8 weeks. Like we would consume the same type of thing.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Like, put
Yeah,
Sonia, Luann, Ramona, and Dorinda in a house together for 5 days, and I'd watch 100 hours. I'd watch a live feed actually.
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
that would be our Love Island.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I also think maybe bringing it back with the B-list shows. I call that like the non-housewives, like so like our
Hmm.
Southern Charm, Summer House, VPR. Like maybe throw them in the mix, keep it a little
Hmm.
younger, and see if they get kind of drunk and messy. And avoid housewives for a second if we're worried about like
Yeah, that's a good way.
the
That's a good way to
scandal.
do it. Hmm. And,
Um,
pe- and the viewers of those shows would eat the shit, eat that
yeah,
up.
throw Lindsay and Paige in with like anyone else. They would have it would be great.
Oh my God. Next question,
Yeah.
please. So good.
Okay, let's see. This next one says, "Why are Nia and Danny leaving the Valley?" And
They're
then the
not.
question,
That was a rumor.
yeah, that's
That
what I
was a
thought.
that
I
was a
didn't think that.
false rumor.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
they're
think
not
that was
leaving.
real. If you were to pick any city in the world for a new Housewives franchise, where would it be? I think we are missing the opportunity. It doesn't. I'm not saying it needs to be Boston, but it's like a New England. I know we're getting. I guess we're getting Rhode Island, but like I guess maybe that will be it though, because like it may get a little bit of that like New England Cape vibe.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
Um.
I do miss like. I think they should bring back Dallas at some point, because I do think that is like a portion of U.S. culture that's not represented on on Housewives right now, and I think
Yeah.
it's like so specific, and it did make for amazing TV for a little bit there. Um,
As
so
you know, I am a Dallas native.
I did forget that, but now I just think that like it's like that show is good for
No,
until
it
it
was.
wasn't,
I thought it was
you know?
great until I think Bravo just kind of gave up on it and just stopped
I
kind
think it
of putting
was I think
energy.
it felt I think that was a lightning rod in around 2020 and they did not know how to get out of that. And so they just abandoned it.
I
But
know so many affluent, crazy ladies down there that would make for great TV. It does feel wild that they're
yeah,
not.
we need a Texas. I need the Hunting Wives but on Housewives.
Oh my God,
Like I need that.
please.
So that's my vote.
I agree. I like that. Yeah, we don't really have any like Southern
We have Atlanta, but
housewives.
that's like but that's specifically Atlanta to
Right, it's
me.
not
Like you know
really
what I
the
mean?
South though, like because it's still
Yeah.
like Atlanta is such like a metropolitan hub now. It's where so
Right.
much movies are filmed. It's like it feels like a second kind of like New York or LA. I feel like we need like a southern city to touch
Yeah,
down
I'm with
with.
you.
Yeah. I also think with the state of politics and the state of this country, like I think it would be really interesting to see what life is like in places that aren't the places that we find comfortable. I'm
Hmm.
not saying that we need to put a show full of Trumpers on TV. That's not what I'm asking for. It's more just like women in Tennessee trying to like navigate life through whatever the modern
Right.
political world
Yeah.
is like.
The other one that I always talk about is Nashville because I just feel like you could have a mix of wives of country stars and also country stars and like
Yeah.
songwriters and people adjacent to that industry, and that would be a very specific, you know, enclave of people that I think I would be interested to hear about their lives,
You
and they
know,
have a lot of
I
money.
believe they test shot that like thing with the Kansas City wife. Do you remember hearing about that? It happened like
Maybe.
last year because um that woman Jazzy who was like a
Hmm.
friend of sort
But
of
now,
last
yeah, but now
season.
she's going to be on Potomac in a bigger way, I think, this coming season.
Yeah, I heard that as well. Like she was in that trailer for a little bit. I believe she filmed something. I had heard
Oh,
this on one
interesting.
of the blogs. She had filmed something with a couple other Kansas
Mm.
City Chiefs
Oh, the
player
Chiefs show.
wives.
Right, right, right. I'm like
Yeah,
less interested in WAGs and more interested in like the country music
I
of it
agree.
all.
I
But
agree.
you could do that kind of show well too, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then well, some of these other questions are kind of things we've already talked
Okay,
about, I realize. But yeah, we've got a lot on the docket. I'm very
we
much looking
do.
forward to it. Is there any other shows non Bravo that you loved this summer? Hunting Wives?
Hunting wise, I ate that shit up. You know what show
Same.
I did just watch, which I thought I was just gonna watch the first episode and just like kind of stop watching it, but I kind of blew through it. Love Thy Nader. Have you heard about it?
Okay. I texted Samantha Bush today. I said, "Hey babe, I love you, mean it. What is a nader? I don't know what this is. Who are these
No,
ladies?"
I really didn't know. The only one that I knew kind of, which is who's the only one who's really famous, is Brooks Nader. She is a Sports Illustrated model. Like, there's no reason why you would like know her name, basically. But she was on Dancing with the Stars last season. She started hooking up with her partner Gleb, and they had like he cheated
Oh,
on her.
she's with Gleb?
And so, yeah, and the first episode of her show, which is about her and her three model sisters living in New York together for the first time, she finds out that he cheated on her, and that's the first episode of the show. And it's basically
Okay.
it's not like the most like you know dramatic like engrossing show necessarily, but like it kind of scratches like a little bit of an early Kardashians itch in a way. And you feel some type of way about each of but they're also from rural they're from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and so like they
Oh,
have
wow.
and they go back there for like two episodes, and so like there's kind of this like and one of them's queer, so there's like a this sort of tension between how they grew up and how they're living their
We got
life. And
I know we had gay people on the show.
there's the youngest sister is I think she's bisexual, I want to say.
Okay, well that's
She
fun to
dates women.
hear.
Yeah, so I did not expect to enjoy it, but I very much enjoyed it, and I don't have any skin in the game with them, and I didn't know who they were before. One of them I really can't stand, but I enjoyed the show, so that's the other
Well,
one I'll say.
and now Brooks isn't she dating
Now she's
Alcaraz?
dating. Alcaraz, allegedly. Yeah. So she's kind of a jersey chaser, you know, it's like
Yeah.
she's been linked to other people as well. She's one of those people, and like it's kind of interesting. She's cool though. Like I liked her on the show. So
Okay.
it kind of I kind of judged that book by its cover, and I was wrong about her. So
Yeah, maybe I'll dive in. Also,
it's kind of it can be a
something
background show.
yeah, something you need to hit up after you finish Australia versus the World is you need to dive into other seasons of Australian Survivor. It's
I
really
do
worth
need to
it.
do that clearly. I clearly need to do that. Yeah. It's
Also, this season of Australian versus the World was like a condensed season. It's only I think they're on the island for like 18 days or something like that, and it's only 10 episodes. All other seasons of Australian Survivor are so long. Like it
oh
would take
god.
it would you could you could just like watch like it would
Okay.
take you so long to get through it that like there's just endless amounts of content waiting for
Yeah.
you. It's
Yeah,
more it's as a positive. So
which is a gift. Yeah,
which is a
exactly.
gift. Like I think the seasons are like 30 episodes long. And they're all an
Wow.
hour. So there's a lot there. Well, Gibson, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Of course. This is
Um
so much fun.
of
I love
course.
diving into the dumpster with you.
Thank you. I love to have you here. Let
You're
everyone.
a great guide through the muck, you
Oh my
know?
God, thank you. Tell that to the tell that to the Huda fans. Gibson, tell everyone where they can follow you and listen to you.
Yeah, you can listen to my podcast, Gabbing with Gib, wherever you get Dumpster Dive. I do new episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays, sometimes a third one if I'm feeling like it. Um, like today, I just recorded a 20-minute kind of a quote unquote emergency episode about the Taylor Frankie Paul Bachelorette news. So I had a lot of thoughts.
Hmm.
Just, you know, so Gabbing with Gib, and then you can follow me at Gibsonoma, wherever on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, wherever your whatever your vice is, follow me there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And guys, make sure to subscribe to the Dumpster Dive YouTube channel at youtube.com/Dumpster Dive Pod. Video episodes are also available on Spotify, and then subscribe wherever you get your pods. We will be back next week with a SLC premiere recap. Looking forward to that, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.